We are on season 33 of The Ultimate Fighter, and we have two great coaches, Chael Sonnen and Daniel Cormier. Both are very involved with the UFC outside of their fighting career as they both retired. And Dana made it very clear from the start that these two would not be fighting. And at first, I said, you know what, I like the dynamic between them so much. So I was kind of excited. But as the fights have been going on and the seasons progressed, I started to realize I don't really like it that much. It's kind of gotten monotonous to the point where it's starting to fall into the Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, where it's kind of one-sided. It's still very early, but other than that, we know there's not going to be a fight between them in the end. They should have done a wrestling match or something to kind of build this character development between the two, kind of hyping the fight. The Ultimate Fighter is such a old institutional show, really, for the UFC, as it's kind of what gave it its fame. It's had so many legendary fights. It's made so many champions. It's hosted so many champions. It brings people in that you might not see that much. Daniel Cormier has coached before. Chael Sonnen did this with John Jones leading up to his fight. But at this point in the show, we've kind of lost the it factor that kind of makes it the Ultimate Fighter. Another thing that they've kind of lacked this season is Americans. I know that, it's crazy to say, there's not enough Americans on the show. But it's kind of true. There's one or two Americans that don't fight each other, and the rest is kind of just the same story from every single country. And this is a great opportunity for everyone, but it's kind of turning away from what the Ultimate Fighter kind of has. It's, we have like the American bad boys who come in there and they start trouble. We don't have that anymore. The two coaches having to feel each other out and kind of puff their chest out to show that this isn't going to be an easy fight, and we don't have that. And Dana White has little to no involvement in the show. We've had some seasons recently where it's like, okay, we had the hopes of Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler fighting, which they didn't, but at least we had that dynamic of the sizing each other up. We had Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso, but they had already fought once before. Or twice. It's kind of lost that mystery with the two. And I think this is the first time that the coaches have been not scheduled to fight. I think there were so many ways around getting them to have some kind of combat that it's insane that they didn't. They could have had, I said, a wrestling match, a jiu-jitsu match. I wouldn't want to see them box. I wouldn't want to see them physically have a fisticuffs boxing match. With the new UFC Jiu-Jitsu, they could have had an expo match where these two didn't headline the show, but started the main card. There's so many things that they could have done that they just refuse to do because they are retired. And I get it. They don't want to go through the camp and stuff. But why do they have to? Why do you have to do that? They're both wrestlers. They love wrestling. Why couldn't they just have a wrestling match? Throw in the leotards, get on the mat. They literally had so many options, but instead of figuring something out, they kind of just dropped the ball. I think a lot of people aren't a big fan of this season. 33 seasons in. How many bad seasons were there? Probably not many. I wouldn't call this season bad, but it's starting to get to the one-sided winning, and there's no hype between the fights. There's no hype for the coaches, and they're going to have to pull a lot out to fix anything that's going on right now. I don't like it. Personally, I don't think people like it. I don't see much about it, which isn't a good thing. And the one thing that I can say is that the flyweight contenders look to be pretty talented. It looks like they are going to spice up the actual UFC, just regular seasonal activity, and I think that's a good thing. So we'll see what happens.